I can't be the only one who hasn't watched anything Marvel related since Endgame. For some reason, everything after that Marvel's produced has just been really bad. Like, the characters are bad, the story is bad, the designs are bad, everything's just bad. Another thing I've noted, that Spider-Man, that new animated Spider-Man cartoon, it just looks unfinished. Like, I don't believe for a second there's a single animator out there who was like, you know what this show needs? No cell shading, no highlights, no impact frames, no fluidity. Yes. Marvel has just really become a victim of enshittification, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it's when a company cares more about making a profit than they care about making a good product, and so they slowly lower the standards of the product in hopes to save costs and to make more of a profit. Hence why the quality of Marvel productions have just gone downhill. If you want something done good, do it yourself. So I've decided, hey, why not I just make my own Marvel show? And hence the concept Marvel 4S came to me. The 4S standing for Shield Superstar Squadron. Originally, I was just going to call it Marvel Superstars, but then I realized not only was that already a thing that Marvel did, it was a card game. SS, it's a bit, you can't really do that. So the main concept behind Marvel 4S is 4 star-themed superheroes have to protect Stark University. One thing I'm not quite sure of in this universe is if Tony Stark is dead or alive. It doesn't really matter since he's not going to appear in the show, as it's not his show. So I guess I can flip a coin on it and we'll find out if he's dead or alive. So the main hero in this show, or the main character, would be Nova, specifically Sam Alexander. I absolutely loved him in The Ultimate Spider-Man. I know that show was very hit or miss, mostly miss with a lot of people, but I loved him in that show and I've always wanted to see him in more things. He is the main inspiration for this show, for this concept. So Sam Alexander would be the main character. And then another character would be Quasar, who he is a Marvel superhero, but barely anyone knows him. He hasn't been in much stuff, and I believe that's because he's too similar to Nova. So I decided to put a spin on him and make it my own version of Quasar. And then the other 2 heroes who are the main characters in the show are completely original heroes that I made up. So Marvel, get your grubby hands off them. So their names are Sign and Starcatcher. Sign's abilities are related to star signs, hence the name Sign. This is editing Nia. Sign's powers are actually related to the Chinese zodiacs, not actually the star signs you're familiar with, but I'll go into detail about that in his video. Starcatcher's powers are based around like creating energy stars, or like crystal stars. I'll go into them later. So for this video, I'm just going to talk about Sam Alexander, and then for the next 3, I'll go into talking about the other main characters. And then as a finale, I'll probably make like a little animatic going through how the first episode would work out, which I think would be really cool. For Sam Alexander, his character arc would revolve around him becoming a good leader, because at the start of the show, I imagine he's been given his new team for the first time and he has no idea how to direct them. He has no idea how to get their respect without just yelling at them. And imagine how you would feel if you were told this guy is your new leader and he just shouts at you all the time, because that's the only way he can get you to listen to him. He starts off being very cocky, very sure of himself, a little bit arrogant, because he's like, oh, I'm Nova, I'm the cool superhero, I've never heard of you guys before. In typical beginning of character arc fashion, he just gets his ass handed to him like consistently, until he eventually learns how to connect with his teammates. He connects with them on a deeper level. He helps them. He understands how they're feeling emotionally. He helps them physically. He starts helping them to work together as a team. And then eventually, as the story goes on, you would see them like slowly go from just being teammates to being good friends and to being best friends, to the point where they actually really respect him. And he no longer has to yell at them to get their attention, which is yay. Another reason why I picked Nova to be the main lead and not like another superhero is because I love his design. So like with Quasar, I'm changing his design to match my interpretation of him. However, with Nova, I've always loved his design. He's so cool. I don't know why Marvel doesn't put him in more stuff. There should be a Nova movie. Obviously, if they were to make a Nova movie, it would be Richard Rider, as that's the original Nova. And Sam Alexander was specifically made for Ultimate Spider-Man. But the point still stands that he looks so cool. He's like a very shonen-coded character. He's a teenage boy with very cool physical abilities, who's funny, who's a bit arrogant, he's a bit cocky, he's a bit too enthusiastic. But we love that. We love high energy. We love good morals as well. He's not morally grey. I'm kind of tired of the morally grey anti-hero. He's just a good guy who's trying to be a good hero. The teenage boy, they want to show off. They want to have to show off their exaggerated swagger, you know? And he did have a love interest. However, I don't really want there to be love interest in the story because it's not really necessary and it would long it out. There might be little romantic subplots just to add a little bit of drama, but it wouldn't be the main focus. The focus would just be on him slowly becoming a good leader. His civilian clothes have a similar colour scheme to his superhero costumes as like a reference to him being Nova. In the comics, there's two Nova helmets. There's the gold helmets, which are from the basic Nova Corps, like the main Nova Corps people have gold helmets. Nova's dad was a part of these like rebellious Novas who had black helmets. I'm actually still conflicted whether to give him a gold helmet or a black helmet. I think the gold is more recognizable, so I'll stick with the gold, but the black helmet does look really cool. But because it's a different universe, it doesn't really make sense for him to have the black helmet because of the history that comes with it. So I'm just going to stick with the gold helmet. Did any of you guys like Ultimate Spider-Man? Because I actually really liked it. It was such a return to form, which is the goofy cartoon about superheroes just doing fun stuff. I feel like in recent times, animated shows especially have become too serious. I want more shows like Generator Rex, more shows like Ben 10, you know, where it's just a typical monster of the day, just characters learning new things about themselves and their friends and nothing too overly serious, you know, just your typical action hero saga. His powers remain largely the same in this show. I imagine the show would actually be a spin-off or a continuation of Ultimate Spider-Man. So after Spider-Man's gang was split up after high school, Sam then goes to university, which is then when he gets recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. and he is put in charge of this new superstar squadron. I'm not sure how people will feel about me having the show be directly connected to the Ultimate Spider-Man, or you can interpret it as it being its own completely original universe. Either way, I don't mind. I'll go into detail about the main villains after I explain the other characters as well. Some other details about Sam in this show I forgot to mention. He's taking the sports science course at the university. So all of these characters, they will attend the university. They're all doing their own subjects. And Sam is doing sports science because I thought that fitted him because he's very athletic, he's very active, and he wants to help people. That's pretty much it for Sam, since he's already a pre-existing Marvel character. I'm not going to change him that much. The next character that I'm going to go into and explain is my version of Quasar. So feel free to watch the rest of this little speed paint of him in his civilian clothes, and I hope you like it.